Welcome to the Intern Whisperer Live, the show all about internships and how to survive them. This is Abby.
This is Matt.
This is Isabella with a cold. Reminder to our listeners, you can call us live on the air. The phone number is 407-582-2906. You can also chat with us online through Intern Pursuit's Facebook Live chat. Tonight's hashtag is Jacob Banks. He is a musician, and we have tickets to his concert on February 13th. So, anybody who listens to our show and uses this hashtag, Jacob Banks, and gives a comment about what they liked about our show tonight, it has to be specific, will win the tickets. So remember to include the featured hashtag, hashtag Jacob Banks, and you can go to his website, www.mrjacobbanks.com.
All right, coming up in this episode of the Intern Whisperer Live, we talk holiday movies and our Motivational Monday topic.
Yeah, we should probably do that first.
The Motivational Monday topic?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Okay.
Because, we're going to talk about movies, and we won't even remember the Motivational Monday.
Right.
That's a really good point.
All right.
Even though it has to do with a movie of sorts?
Maybe.
That may be mentioned later.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Okay. So our social plugs. You can find us on Pivot Business Consulting's Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube site. You can also find us on Intern Pursuit's website, on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, on Intern Pursuit Game for the Facebook and Twitter, and you can listen to us live on mixlr.com/Valencia College Radio and follow. It says Intern Whisperer. It's really Intern Pursuit. I went and double checked this. It's supposed to say Intern. Follow us on Intern Pursuit on MixLR, and you can watch us live on Intern Pursuit. And you can call us live on the air, 407-582-2906. And you can also chat with us online. I sure hope there's people that are going to chat with us.
All right, it's sponsor time. Our first sponsor for the night is Omnimodal. Omnimodal believes smart cities and public transit services are the backbone of equitable shared mobility today and into the future. Omnimodal works with smart cities to connect all commuters across the modes of transportation to the mobility as a service marketplace. Sorry about that. You can visit them at their website at omnimodal.io. Thank you, Omnimodal, for sponsoring the Intern Whisperer.
I'm typing as we're writing. So tonight's show is a tribute to holiday classics. And the three of us are going to be sharing what our holiday classic favorites are. And they're not going to necessarily be what we think they will be.
Yeah,
there will
we
be
have
some
some
surprises.
regular choices and
We sure
some
do.
surprises.
Yeah.
And we're going from movies to TV shows we weren't strict on.
Yeah, so
Rules
we'll
on
let
that.
our listeners know that the definition is anything that brings your family together during the holiday season.
Right.
Yeah, so very good. I'm going to finish writing those out.
Well, did we want to do our Motivational Monday topic first?
Oh, yeah, go ahead and do that.
All right, so you want to do the honors, Matt?
Yeah, go ahead. You're
All
up.
right. He puzzled and puzzled till his puzzler was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more. And that's from Dr. Seuss, if you didn't know.
Of course.
Yeah, and I love that one. I really
Yeah, me
like that you
too.
picked that, Abby.
No, thank you.
Yeah. So why did you pick it, and what meaning does it have?
I feel like it's very simple but very straight to the point. Christmas, doesn't matter how many ornaments you have in your house decorating it, or doesn't matter how flashy your Christmas shopping is. It's not about that at all. At the end of the day, it's about how you spend it with your loved ones.
That is very true.
And that's something that money can't buy. You
And
can't
keep
get
in
a store.
mind, the Grinch didn't have any loved ones.
Mm-hmm.
He thought he didn't have loved ones, right?
But he had the whole town.
He did. He did. It took him a little while to realize that.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's sometimes people that don't feel that they're very loved, but, that's inside of them. They have to change their perspective and not make it about them, make it about the others that are around them.
Their heart has to grow 3 sizes
That is right.
Oh,
and be able to fit other people.
That's very good. All right. So, showdown at the movie classic Corral.
All right.
All right.
So I guess we're starting with me because I'm listed first.
Yeah, we're
Yes.
gonna
We're
go
we're-
from number 10 to number 1. We
Yeah.
each have 10 picks.
Yeah.
So we all do our number 10 first, and then we're counting them down that way.
And the
Exactly.
number one is our favorite.
Okay.
Yes.
So for my number 10, I chose just the Oscar bait movie of the year. Usually around December, you're watching an Oscar bait movie because
Yes.
Oscars are coming up. You're trying to catch up with everything that you think is going to get nominated. And my favorite one from last year was The Phantom Thread.
Great
Never
movie.
heard of it.
Daniel
Really appreciate
Day-Lewis.
It was Daniel Day-Lewis's last movie.
Or so he
Why
says.
did he lie? I
No.
mean, did he die?
No.
No, he just retired. He just said, "I'm done acting." I have three.
Daniel Day-Lewis, he's not that old.
Yeah, he's a method actor, so he really gets into his roles, and he said publicly that it's exhausting as an actor to really become that person because he goes all out, which is why I think
Even
he
though I
wants to
don't think
retire.
that role would have been as exhausting as previous ones, because he played
Right.
it's a romance between a British women's fashion designer, and then he finds an ingenue in this waitress.
Oh, wait, I've seen that. I've seen the commercial for that.
yeah,
It's
I
really
can't
That looks
remember-
really
it's not
good.
Last year, it was
Pretty
really
damn good movie. Yeah,
It's very understated.
Yeah. Looks really, really good.
has a really
Interesting.
great plot twist at the end that I did not see coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've seen it? Wait, how old is this movie? Have you
It
seen
came
it?
out
It's like
last
a
year.
year old.
Yeah, it's a year
Okay,
old.
then that's why, yeah.
It was like what I was watching around December last year.
Did it win an Oscar?
It was
was
nominated
nominated.
for a few.
Is that why
I
you
don't
wrote
remember for
Oscar
one.
bait?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I was originally going to put The Shape of Water, but then I decided to put Phantom Thread
I haven't
because
seen
The
that
Shape of
movie
Water
either.
got enough recognition.
And so you think this movie, The Phantom Thread, brings families together?
I watched it with my dad.
Where was your mom?
She's not an Oscar bait movie person.
Okay. So, all right. So that's good. Well,
Okay.
all right. What's yours, Abby?
So my number 10 is A Christmas Carol, the animated version with Jim Carrey, directed by Robert Zemeckis. There's been a lot of Christmas Carol movies out there, a lot of Disney Christmas episodes with Scrooge McDuck, I think is his name. But I think this is my absolute favorite.
There was one with Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah,
I
there
forgot
was,
about
yeah.
that.
Yeah. But I always thought this was my favorite because I watched it with my grandfather when it first came out. And I just remember him having a blast with the movie, laughing uncontrollably. And this is just a very fun memory that I have watching this movie with him. And every year,
What was he laughing about?
oh, my grandfather laughs because of everything. It's very easy to get him to laugh. But
I know you've talked about him, but I don't see that this is a
oh,
funny
he loved
movie.
it. He loves animation movies, and
Well,
it's a
it has
kids
Jim
movie.
Carrey
Yeah, it has
as
Jim
Ebenezer
Carrey.
Scrooge, so I'm guessing he's a little over the top, right?
Yeah, he is, and it's funny. It's a heartwarming but funny movie, and he loved it. And I just loved watching it with him.
I
And
heard
it-
it was a more traditional take. Like it doesn't take because there's so many versions of them by now that now when they do a version of A Christmas Carol, there has to be some drastic take on it. But this version was more traditional.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I don't know much about the Christmas Carol story as a whole. I only have this as a frame of reference, but
Oh, really?
yeah,
I would think you'd be watching the original version, the black and white one, so you'd have a
I
comparison.
haven't gotten around to it honestly.
Okay, you must do that
have
this
to.
holiday.
Who was it in the black and white version?
I don't remember.
Who was Ebenezer
I don't
Scrooge?
know, but
can't
the beauty
remember.
of Google is we can look it up, right? A Christmas Carol and black and white.
And I'm sure there's several.
I'm pretty sure. Yep.
Okay, so it says that, Alistair. Wait, let me find it. Alistair Sim, Jack Warren, and Brian Desmond Hurst. Alistair Sim, I would guess.
I haven't heard of him.
Yeah.
I guess that's what we have to go do is look this one up.
But yeah, just to wrap it up, I just love this movie. I love watching it with my grandfather. We try to watch it every year. And every year he doesn't keep track of the movies he's seen, so every year it's like new to him and he feels like he's watching it for the first time again.
Maybe I don't have the
So.
right one. There's one that says Frederick March. I don't know.
That's
Well,
There's
the one
been
that I'm
tons
looking
and
at
That's
tons.
has.
interesting that you show that you do that with your grandfather because I use movies as a way to jog my grandmother's memory.
Oh, really?
Movies that she would have seen when she was young. because her memory is starting to falter. So I showed her I showed her The Wizard of Oz. I showed her Easter Parade.
Oh, that's a good movie.
Things she would have seen back in Cuba in a movie theater. Because those older memories are the ones that seem to have stuck around in her mind the strongest.
Oh, that's very sweet.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the original one is 1938, just so you're clear on that one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised it took them
And-
that long.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a silent version too.
Says Reginald Owen, Gene Lockhart, Gene, a man's name. And there's a list of other people here, but Reginald Owen was Ebenezer Scrooge. And if everybody is going into Wikipedia, please give money. They're doing their end of year donation.
You know, one of my favorite versions of A Christmas Carol was A Muppets Christmas Carol. I think that was a
Wait,
fantastic.
you can't go and introduce another one.
It's not on my list.
No, we're just.
But that was a
talking.
sneaky way to put a number 11 in.
Okay, I'm sorry. I broke our rules already.
All right,
We're on number
moving
10.
on.
We're on number 10, and I already snuck in something. Okay.
But
right.
that one is a good one. I would agree with you. I would definitely agree with you. Anything with Muppets is always good. So my number 10 is a TV movie, and it's Dolly Parton's Coat of Many Colors. What I liked about this is she is telling what Christmas was like when she was a small child, when she was 6, and it really shows how a child will think, because there's this "it's all about me" attitude, but then there's this place where she gets an epiphany, and she goes, you know what? That's not what I'm taught. That's not what my belief is. That's not what I'm taught in church. And she's very outspoken, very flamboyant, even as a child. And I just loved it. And so if you liked, these are books that I used to read, Little House on the Prairie, or if you like any turn of the century book, A Land Remembered, or gosh, The Waltons, any of those types of movies where it's like historically you're looking back on your life and you see it, the Goldbergs, you can actually see this in there. And the music is so pretty. It's actually her singing, so very nice. So I picked that one.
It's a good pick.
Yeah.
I'll check it out for sure.
Now, I've provided a
original
few
one.
links to YouTube where they are able to see it for free. And I know that there's some ethical dilemmas with that, but they are published on YouTube. And then you can also watch the commercial-free version for a minuscule price.
And we will post those in the comments after the show.
Oh,
Yes, we
very
will.
nice for our guests. Number 9.
Go ahead, Matt.
My number 9 choice for Christmas movies is Star Trek movies. Because, again, to do with my dad, Star Trek is his favorite.
Not Star Wars.
Not Star Wars.
Star Trek.
Star Trek is his favorite franchise
Trek.
of anything. Yes.
I think I said track.
Because he grew up with the original show in the 60s with Kirk and all that. So, and he even loves the new ones, the rebooted ones. He loves all of them. He doesn't like the one where Kirk meets God. That's not a good movie.
I've never seen that one.
Well, it turns out not to be God, but he thinks he's meeting God.
Is that
Yeah.
an
William Shatner directed it himself.
Oh wow.
Is this a movie,
It's
or
a
was
movie,
it the
yeah.
original series?
It's a movie that takes place after the original series, but it's the original cast.
What is that movie called? Where
is
he
that
thinks
one
he
the
meets
Is that
God.
one the one that's? I think it's called The Final Frontier.
Oh, okay.
It came out in the late '80s.
I'm going to have to go look for that one now.
I've only
Yeah.
seen the first two, but of the rebooted franchise, which I actually like.
Yeah,
Abrams.
those are probably what we rewatched the most. Are the first two of the rebooted franchise.
They were really good.
Even though I like the third of the rebooted.
So did they
franchise.
take them, because did they used to be in black and white and they colorized them? Is that
No,
what
they
you
were
mean by
always-
No, they were
reboot?
always in
Color.
color.
No, in 2009 they recast all. They did a movie, but they recast all those original characters with new actors.
Oh, so they look older and everything. It's not like, when they were in that original movie.
Right. Like when I was talking about the one where Kirk meets God, that is William Shatner just as an older man
Yeah.
in the 80s.
But then you have
But
the new ones.
But they have new
with
ones where they have
different actors.
it's
Chris Pine.
Chris Pine.
Benedict Cumberbatch is.
yeah, they have
He's-
Benedict Cumberbatch as
yeah.
the villain in the second
Yeah.
one.
I've seen
They-
those too.
Zachary Quinto. It's
Zachary Quinto
It's
as
Spock.
Spock instead of Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah. fun stuff. I haven't
Yeah,
gotten into
but,
Star Trek that much, but I
we-
respect the lore.
We watch it like every year, multiple times.
So
And
you have these
especially
like on
December.
CD or
Yeah, Blu-ray.
Blu-ray?
We have every single one on Blu-ray.
very cool.
Respect.
Hey, Matt, there's your professor.
It's an inside joke. No one's gonna get.
Nobody's
No.
going to get it. We have a big window in front of the studio where people can walk by and see us. So that's all I'm going to let our listeners know.
All
Okay.
right. So moving on to my number 9 pick, it's Die Hard, because you gotta love Die Hard. It's a Christmas movie.
It is technically. a
Okay,
Christmas
explain.
movie.
Oh, it's
I know I've seen it, but maybe we have listeners that don't know.
well, I haven't seen it in a while, but from what I can remember, it was he goes with his wife to a Christmas party at a building.
Yep.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Is
And then
it-
terrorists infiltrate the building. It's Christmas. It's Christmas Eve,
I
right?
think it's Christmas Eve.
Yeah. And he just has to fight his way. The main character, John McClane, he has to fight his way through this Christmas party, taking out terrorists. He's barefoot, walking through glass. It's very fun. It's a great movie. It's a
I
classic.
know anything with Bruce Willis is good, though. It's
Most of everything, but yeah.
well, I think it is because he's always I think he's always cast in the same type of movie, you know, and his character is consistent no matter what name you give him.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think that they're entertaining from
Yeah.
you know, if you want to see it. Never mind.
But I feel like
digressing
that's
now.
peak Bruce Willis as Die Hard Bruce Willis.
Oh,
yeah.
Like when you think
Yeah.
of the best thing Bruce Willis has done,
It's probably Die Hard.
probably Die Hard.
Yeah.
Probably.
And it's just a fun movie. I have a blast watching it with my grandpa. I love watching movies like this. 80s action movies and animated movies are my absolute favorite to watch with my grandfather.
What was the movie that was with the actress with the orange hair? And Bruce Willis. Wasn't that Bruce Willis?
Orange hair and Bruce
Orange
Willis.
hair and Bruce Willis.
Never mind. I'll look it up. Nonetheless, I'll let you know.
Okay.
So, yeah, Die Hard. Can't beat it. It's a classic, and I can watch that movie forever.
and it takes
doesn't get
place
old.
at Christmas. So
does, so
as
it
a
counts.
Christmas movie.
Okay.
All right.
I would say that would be a good choice. I would definitely watch it. Fifth Element. I think it's Fifth Element.
Oh, The Fifth Element, yeah.
she has
wait, is
orange
that-
hair, right?
Yeah, that's Mila Jovovich, I think. That's,
Yeah.
Is that her?
Yeah, that's Mila Jovovich. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Mila Jovovich.
Yeah. Okay. So my number 9 is Miracle on 34th Street.
I wish I could have included that on my top 10.
I
Yeah.
have never
Mentioned
seen
that.
it.
I love it because it's a story about a single mother that has a little child. It varies on which version you see, whether it's a girl or a boy. In the classic one, it's a little girl. And I think it was Natalie Wood that when she was a little girl in the first one that was out.
I think you're
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Anyway, the mother doesn't want her child to be raised believing that Santa Claus is real. He's a very kind person. And for all of our listeners that are out there, if you don't believe in Santa Claus, then Santa Claus doesn't come and see you. So
Okay.
that's the rule.
Those are
Yeah,
the
so
rules.
you better believe in Santa Claus. So anyway, so it ends up being this whole legal debate where even Santa Claus goes into the courtroom to prove that he really is Santa Claus. He's not just a kindly old gentleman. And so it's proving that he is the real Santa Claus.
Oh, wow.
And there was a test in the movie, and I'm not going to spoil it. You have
Yeah,
to
'cause
watch
I have
it.
to see it. I'm
Yeah.
I'm that one person in the entire universe that hasn't seen it yet. So
That's okay, because 4 years ago, I was the only person in the United States that had not seen Forrest Gump. Then I sat down and I watched it and went, how have I not seen this movie?
it's great.
It
Yeah.
is.
It was an amazing movie.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, Josh commented. He
Hey,
said The
Josh.
Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense. Oh.
I
He's
think
liking it.
either that's his favorite holiday movie, or he was trying to help you out with Bruce Willis and the
I think
woman
he's
with the
trying to
yellow
help us
with the
out.
red
Yeah.
hair.
Hi,
yeah.
Josh. Write him and say hi. Please.
I'm nearsighted.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
So
Okay, so we're back up here with you, Matt.
number 8.
All right.
Number
and
8.
Now, not Star Trek, but Star Wars: The Force Awakens, and this does relate to Christmas this time because I remember when that came out.
It was on Christmas Day.
It came out right before Christmas, and my grandmother and my aunt came with us, and they barely ever go out to see movies, but they still went and saw this movie because everyone had to go see this movie. and my aunt loved it because she grew up watching Star Wars as a kid in the 70s, and then like I grew up watching the prequel movies.
Poor you.
So it's like
Kidding.
Wait, what? Porkies?
Poor you.
Oh.
I'm kidding.
yeah, I mean
The
I
third
like-
one is okay.
the third one is okay at times. And but it was this like generational thing where everyone could enjoy it. I think it was a little indecipherable to my grandma.
Right.
Yeah, because I don't think she quite knew what was happening or had much of an interest, but she just wanted to go with the family on Christmas. But I'll always remember we got my grandmother to go see a Star Wars movie.
That is an
Christmas.
achievement.
Yeah, and she never goes to see movies, but we all went to see The Force Awakens.
That's nice. And don't you always, have you noticed a trend that when we talk about the movies, there's some type of a family event that's around them or some sweet memory? I think that's the thing that's important to remember. So I haven't said that about mine. They didn't have like a family connection. They're just really movies that I like because they're, I think, classic and timeless. But I do appreciate the fact that you guys have shared that this was something that was special to you with your
Right.
family.
Well, you've been mentioning things where you like the messages of them and
Yeah.
the
More of a
meanings.
universal
Yeah.
appeal.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
All right, moving on. My number 8 pick is a Christmas special from one of my favorite TV shows. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And the episode is titled A Very Sunny Christmas. And I'm just going to say that it's
Is
a
it
very...
really just called that? Because isn't every episode called The Gang Does or Charlie Does or Dee Does?
Yeah, but I looked it up. That's the title that came up. I don't know if that's the actual title because they are very specific.
Yeah, because I thought every title was one of their names.
So it's sometimes the gang that does this or that, but I'm pretty sure that's the title because it is
Okay.
a Christmas special. It's longer than usual too.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna go into much detail about what goes down because
This is a
the show
family
it's not a family show. It's
Adult.
yeah, it's an adult show.
It's
but
adulting.
I just remember
Yeah.
I just remember the Christmas episode. I laughed so hard. I just couldn't stop laughing. It was uncontrollable laughter, and I enjoyed it a lot. And
Is that show? It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Is that kind of like Parks and Recreation and The Office? Is
No, those
like that
shows
kind
are
of
more
humor?
wholesome because it's Always Sunny
Oh,
in
really?
Philadelphia.
it's very
They're meant to all be very unlikable people.
Yeah.
And you're in on the joke that they're all terrible. Whereas in The Office
they're
and
likable.
Parks and Recreation, those characters have redeemable qualities.
Yeah, It's Always Sunny. It's a very dark show.
Yeah.
And the main characters are just terrible,
They're
disgusting
terrible,
people,
horrible
bottom
people.
of the barrel type people.
Yeah.
And, it's,
sounds bad.
and the show just shows what happens when an eccentric millionaire funds all their shenanigans and they do the most politically incorrect things. But I dig it, and the Christmas episode I always just remember being
Yeah, I
super
haven't
funny,
seen the
so-
Christmas episode, but I have seen episodes, and I do enjoy the show a lot.
Is this something that you watch with your family?
Me? No. This is something I watch. I could probably watch it with my dad.
It's just Abby time.
Yeah, my dad introduced me to the show, but we never watched it together. I just picked it because it was a very funny episode, and it's a Christmas episode, and I watch it every now and again during Christmas just to laugh with my friends.
I
So
have a similar pick later on, so
okay, all right. So that's my number 8, ladies and gents. What's yours, Isabella?
My number 8 is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the 1964 version.
Mm-hmm.
I love that one. I was watching it, I think it was Sunday night, and it did. Now, this one does take me back to a time where my brothers and we would sit and watch these. I remember my mother really turning on the TV, and we would watch the classics of the movies. And movies, cartoon movies.
those Rankin Bass ones.
Yeah, they're so.
Yeah.
It's such a very sweet memory. Yeah, like I would cry if I talk about it too much.
Just
Okay.
But as a hint, that's going to be our first overlap pick that we have of the night.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that's
Well, I'm looking to see if we match any of them up for the same.
I don't think we match numbers.
Your number 1 is my number 1.
Oh yeah, but
right. I think
the
I have
audience
just,
will have to wait in suspense for that.
I think I just have one that's same as yours.
I Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah,
we
you
do.
have one that's the same as his, but not on my
No,
list.
not on
No,
Well, that keeps it
actually, I have
interesting.
one that's the same on mine. I think we have one that we all three agreed on.
Okay, awesome.
Maybe I have to go and look.
right.
No, we all have one that crosses over where we have the same, not the
Okay.
same number. But anyway, I digress.
Okay.
Okay, getting
Is
back
there-
on
did you-
track.
did you
Number
wa-
7.
Oh, my number 7
Your
is
number
7.
the Harry Potter series.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, mostly the Sorcerer's Stone because I feel like that's the most Christmassy one that focuses
Right.
the most on Christmas time. But I watch a lot of those at this time of year. A lot of them came out in the fall,
Mm-hmm.
and I just treasure those memories. I grew up. I saw. It's the only series of movies I saw where I saw every single one of them in theaters with my dad.
Nice.
And he read Sorcerer's Stone to me as a little kid.
Oh,
And then
that's an act of love right there. Those
Yeah.
are big books,
Yeah, and then I said I'll read the rest myself. But he read the Sorcerer's Stone to me,
like bedtime.
like as a bedtime story. And if I was bad, I wouldn't get to be read a chapter of Sorcerer's Stone.
Yeah.
So that movie coming out was like childhood magic come to life.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I remember
cool.
watching the first 4 in theaters, and then
Yeah.
after that, I think I skipped 5, 6, and I saw the last 2.
I didn't
In
skip
theaters?
a single one.
Yeah.
I loved them too much.
Mm.
I haven't given them a good read in a long time. The books.
I only got until.
Do you
book
think that the
5.
books did justice to the movies?
You mean the movies of Justice of the Books?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
In ways, yes, and in ways, no.
Yeah.
I kind of like how they're different.
Yeah, I like how they're
yeah.
different. Especially Prisoner of Azkaban,
Oh yeah,
which I think is the best as a movie.
I agree.
But
I don't think I've ever seen all of the movies.
really that's
You should.
You should.
I
But
guess I'm
J.K.
going to.
Rowling's just so detailed in her world building that they couldn't possibly convey everything in the movies.
I stopped watching them when they had the giant spiders.
That was number
That's
2.
number 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the last one because I went, I don't like this.
It only gets a little bit worse.
Yeah, the movie.
You haven't even met the Dementors.
yeah.
Yeah, that was the next movie. It only gets darker and darker and darker.
I've seen more of the of some of the other movies that were like Lord of the Rings that we'll talk about. Just a teaser, but I haven't watched those because I don't like spiders at all.
Well, Lord of the Rings has them too.
I know, but that was the last time I watched spiders.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so on to my number 7, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Well, my number 7 is The Polar Express. It's an animated movie, and I think it's
Zemeckis.
Robert Zemeckis once more. And I love that guy. I love that movie. It's so good.
I like him for directing Back to the
But
Future.
why did you like it so much?
Oh, well, this is a movie that I would constantly watch with my sister. Like, because we would have this thing where we were obsessed with Christmas movies. And
That's me.
Okay.
I'm logged in over here.
And we always used to pick one and we would rewatch it throughout the holiday season. And this one was one of them, and we just loved it. We watched it almost every day for
Is
like
this
2
your
months
sister
straight.
that you
Yeah.
went to visit a while back?
Yes,
Yeah,
we watched that movie all the time. We laughed, we cried. It was great. And I think the message of the movie is so powerful as well.
Mm-hmm.
I remember even as a kid, just being overwhelmed by that ending and hearing that little bell ring for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
It was just great.
I kind of have a little unpopular opinion where I think the book is better, and that
I have not
and
read
that
the book.
movie
It's
was.
it's not a big book, right? It's
It's just a picture book.
yeah.
And that they oversaturated it to make it a movie, and I like the simplicity of the book personally.
I get it.
I didn't know it was based on a book. That's
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it was like it won an award also.
Yeah, it
for
won
the pi-
awards and
the
yeah.
pictures in there.
okay.
Yeah, it's a very beautiful book.
I'll check it out. Honestly,
Yeah,
I really like the movie.
but they had to add in a lot.
No,
to make it a
I'm guessing
full-length
that.
movie.
I'm guessing
like-
the action-packed sequences with
Oh,
the
yeah, that's
train
all.
derailing into the ice, putting all the
Mhm.
kids in serious danger.
all the musical numbers.
Yeah, I'm guessing, but
yeah,
I still love the movie.
no,
it
and
was
I
super
think
good.
Into Testament. I know lots of people who still watch it to this day.
Yeah, I am one of those people.
Yeah.
I'm passing on the tradition to my little brother, who is now driving my mom insane because that's all he wants to watch. So
Then you did good.
I did good.
Yeah.
I feel proud.
Right.
All right, moving on to your number 7.
My
Miss
number
Bella.
7 is the 1942 White Christmas with Bing Crosby. You put Bing Crosby in any movie, not like I was born during that time frame, but I just
Right.
love Bing Crosby. My goodness, he and Gene Kelly, they could dance, they could sing. They're just like, I think they're truly some of the best actors that are out there, you know, and I just loved them.
But they had like different requirements for actors back then because Gene Kelly could dance. Like,
Oh my gosh.
There's one movie where he's dancing while he's on roller skates. My dad showed me one time because
Yeah.
my dad's a big fan of all the old movie musicals. So
I don't like a lot of classic old movies, but the ones that I'm going to mention in my list tonight, those I do like just because I don't think that the acting was, I don't think that there's been actors that are as good as that. And I do love Tom Hanks so much. I think he's the
Polar
actor of
Express.
our time,
yeah,
you know, and I would put him in that same caliber. He and Denzel Washington, I think that they're amazing actors.
They sure
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
I think
There's
Gene
others
Kelly
too.
did a great job, and this isn't.
Singing in the Rain, classic Singing in the
That's
Rain.
what I was gonna say.
I know. I mean,
I
you know,
love that movie.
there's all that water and the umbrella, and he's having to dance and
that's-
jump.
That's literally one of the best movie
He
musicals
directed that
ever
too,
made.
right?
I don't
Really?
think he directed
I'm
it.
pretty sure he
no.
did.
I don't know about that. We'll have
I
to
don't know
Google it.
about We'll have to Google it. I think he was just starring in it. And I remember a story where he actually, Debbie Reynolds didn't know how to dance, and he had to train her.
Oh,
But he was so rigorous that her feet would bleed, and he'd still be like marching orders.
I could believe
keep
that.
Going, keep going.
yeah.
That he was just crazy controlling.
Well,
Wow.
not because I know it, but I mean, he was so good.
Yeah, that.
Oh, anyway. So
Not that that's on any of our Christmas
not on
lists
our
or
list
anything,
either,
but
and I
it's a
went off list
fantastic-
too.
It's a great movie.
yeah, great movie. But again, Oh wait, where am I? White Christmas, and I just love the singing too. It's a really nice story, but I don't want to go and give it away. And I know that we've got to pay attention to our time. So
Oh yeah,
we
we
do.
yeah,
gotta-
keep moving.
Pick up the
Well,
Number
my
6.
number 6, I don't have to talk on a lot. It's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and I meant the
Yay!
1964 version. I also had this weird 90s version, I think, growing up too, but I always preferred the original.
I'm putting it by your name.
Yep. But I just have fond memories, and that's something I would watch with both of my parents. My mom will watch Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yeah,
That's
so
a whole
whimsical.
family uniting thing.
Yeah, it's just so good. It just brings the
It's a
whole.
It was
Classic.
always my favorite Christmas story as a kid. Out of all those classic
Yeah.
Christmas stories, Frosty and all those, Rudolph was always my favorite.
Mhm.
Yeah,
The
except
tale
for
of
one.
the island of misfit toys.
Island of Misfit Toys. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so good. Okay, Abby, you're number 6.
My number 6 is Elf
With
Oh my god, I forgot his name. Don't tell me.
Oh,
Will Ferrell.
yes.
and
Wow, I
it
can't
was the movie.
I can't believe I forgot his
And
name.
it was the
No, you didn't. You
directorial
remembered it.
premiere
Of John Favreau, yeah, who later went on to direct Iron Man and The Jungle Book, the new one.
Oh,
And he's gonna do the new Lion King.
He is.
Oh,
So
And-
yeah, Elf is just a hysterical movie.
it is good.
Yep.
I
love
debated.
it.
That was hard. It's not on my list, but man, I would have put it there. It's really a good movie.
It may be on my list.
I remember-
Teaser.
I remember having the video game and everything for the Game Boy. I loved that movie so much, and I would always just watch it with my mom and my grandma and my sister. And my God, we would always laugh every single time. My sister couldn't, like, when he drinks the entire liter of Coke and then lets out this humongous burp.
Yeah.
My sister would always lose it and just start laughing, and it's one of my fondest memories. Just seeing her laugh hysterically because some guy burped in a movie dressed up as an elf.
That's funny.
Good stuff. All right.
Okay, my number 6 is the Polar Express.
Yay.
Yay! So there's some crossover there. So we've had that and another movie that'll come up here. Again, Polar Express. I just think it was beautifully done in the movie. It looked as beautiful as the picture book itself, and I just found that so mesmerizing. And the story was was very, very touching. Yeah.
It
Okay.
really was.
Go over to number
All
5.
right, so my number 5 is The Nightmare Before Christmas.
I have
Classic.
never seen that, Matt.
That is such a shame. You should.
I'm
really-
going to watch it. Maybe it'll be
It
on
works
YouTube.
as a great Halloween movie.
I
It
debated.
works as a great Christmas movie.
I was gonna put it in here, but I was like, no, it's a Halloween movie for me.
no,
not
but
a Christmas
I
movie.
think it can be either.
Yeah, me
you know
too.
the premise, right?
No, I don't.
The main character, Jack Skellington, he's the King Scarer. What would you call him?
Yeah, he's like he embodies Halloween.
He embodies
in a way.
Halloween, but he's like has an existential crisis. He's grown bored of Halloween, and then there's this mystical forest of doors that lead to different holidays, and he discovers Christmas Town, and so he wants to bring Christmas to Halloween Town
And Halloween to Christmas Town.
and Halloween to Christmas Town.
Okay, that explains it. One of the people, Andy, who's been on our show,
Yeah, we.
she
Yeah.
loved that movie
she
too.
has the tattoos and everything.
Oh, yeah, she's
I think
serious.
we talked about it on the show.
She's
sure did.
hardcore. We
But-
did.
Yeah, a lot of people love,
That's my mom's favorite movie.
and the
Mm.
music is wonderful. Danny Elfman sang for the main character, and he composed all the music.
Mhm.
It's just.
And it's not directed by Tim Burton.
It's
For those
not
of you who
directed by
think
Tim
it
Burton.
is, it's
Everyone
not.
I
gives
know.
him
That's what
credit.
I thought too.
It's
but-
not.
Yeah.
It's produced by him, but it's not him.
Well, his influence is in there.
And
I
it's based on
guess.
a picture book he wrote.
Yes.
Okay, so he is there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is part of it. He's just
Like
not
he
the
came up with
director.
the story, he came up with the whole concept, the character designs.
Well, that's why it looks like him.
Yeah, it's his aesthetic.
Yeah. Yeah,
He
exactly.
produced it. He had a very heavy hand on it, but he did not direct it.
Got it. All right, number 5.
For me, right?
Yes.
Okay, my number 5 is Home Alone, and I mean it's obvious. Home
Isn't
Alone
the
is
second
awesome.
one the one that's at Christmas though?
I think they both take place during Christmas, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
think so.
Yeah,
Did
I
they
think
both
so.
take place during
Yeah, I
Christmas?
think so. And
I think
it's
the
like,
second
it
one
happened
is more
again.
Christmassy, but and the second one is obviously, in my opinion, a better film. But I just love the first one.
Because of the presidential cameo.
Oh yeah, most definitely. God.
Which president?
Our
Current
current
one.
president,
For real?
He
he's
plays
in Home
himself.
Alone, too.
and he plays himself.
I'm pretty.
As the president?
No, it's
No,
Donald.
That would
Trump.
be foreshadowing.
No.
No.
The Simpsons.
The Simpsons
predicted
said
it.
that, yeah.
The Simpsons predicted it, but off topic.
Wow.
But yeah, Home Alone is just a great movie. And when I was a kid and my grandmother showed it to me, I would pray every night, please, please, let my parents leave and have two guys come in so I can mess them up because I have ideas.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. But yeah, it was a great movie. I still watch it to this day and laugh. It's really good. Joe Pesci is great. The other guy that
Yeah.
plays the other dude, I don't know his name. He's also good in it too. And Macaulay Culkin. That's his
Yeah,
name?
and it's
yeah.
from the same director as the first two Harry Potter movies,
Yeah,
Christopher Columbus.
Christopher
This
Columbus.
is trivia showdown between you two, just so you know.
I'm having
Okay.
fun.
My number 5 is A Christmas Carol. It doesn't matter which version it is. I can watch the classic, I can watch any of them, and I like it because I like the Charles Dickens story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just love the story. You know,
Have you actually read it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, of Ebenezer Scrooge, and it's very obviously a Grinch. Is a takeoff of that. I think obviously,
I think so too.
but I think that it is classic, and it is. There's always somebody in our life that will be
A Scrooge.
a Scrooge, and for them to have that that change, the transformation that happens is huge, and so I just think it's a really sweet story. Again, a sweet story of what can happen when we open our heart up and it grows 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Going over to number 4.
All right.
Go ahead, Matt.
My number 4 pick is Elf.
There you go.
Yeah.
Repeat.
I guess I'll just say that I think Will Ferrell really, it might be his best performance
Oh,
in
yeah.
anything ever.
Well-
I think it's the perfect role for him to be an oversized elf. Like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for me it's either that or
And-
Ron Burgundy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's true.
Mhm.
But I think when we look back on there aren't a lot of Christmas movies made now, and I think it's truly a modern Christmas classic, and there aren't a lot of those now.
I agree.
I think that and Polar Express will be the ones that are remembered.
Maybe.
as
I don't know.
21st century Christmas
We have an awful lot
classics.
to go through, and we do
Yeah.
need to pick up our pace.
We
It's
sure
40. We
Yep.
have 5 minutes to get through these.
All right, so let's pick it up. My number 4 is not particularly a Christmas movie, but it's still on my list. It's Fargo. A lot of snow, nice, good enough mystery, great movie directed by the Coen brothers, and I watch it every year around this time, and it doesn't get old. I like it. I just like getting in the blankets and think that, being grateful that I live in Florida or in a tropical island and not in the cold inferno that is Minnesota. So, yeah, great movie. I highly recommend it.
Good TV show for the first season at
right.
least.
Too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A Charlie Brown's Christmas. That's mine. I just love it. I don't think you can ever go wrong with watching Charlie Brown. There's just little pieces of wisdom and nuggets that come out throughout any Charlie Brown movie, and it is hands down my favorite. But the spiritual references from the Bible about the birth of Christ are especially my favorite because it is always one that this too can make me cry. Okay, moving over to 3.
My number 3 pick is The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, the original with Boris Karloff narraing from the 60s.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah.
They've tried to remake it several times, and there's no point. They
No.
already made a perfect version, in my opinion, of that story.
All right, number 3.
All right, my number 3 is The Hateful Eight. Not a Christmas movie again, but a lot of snow and good enough mystery for me. It's all
It
set
has
in a
Morgan.
cabin. It's Quentin Tarantino, so that's always
Morgan,
a plus.
what's his name? The actor. Morgan Freeman.
No,
Right?
Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, never mind. Samuel
Yeah.
L. Jackson. He,
Ah.
you know what? They're both awesome actors.
They sure
They are.
are. So yeah, that's my number 3 pick. I just love watching it around this time of year for the same reasons I like watching Fargo this time of year. So
Just that wintry setting.
wintry setting and not good enough mystery, good dialogue, good characters.
I'm cutting you off. Number
yeah.
3. My number 3, The Princess Bride. Princess Bride, again, classic. There's some snow in there. It's all about I love you, and it's a family movie. Number 2, Matt.
I have to go short on this one. Okay, Doctor Who Christmas specials. Every year since 2005, since the show came back, Doctor Who has had a Christmas special, except for this year, tragically. But my favorite one of those is where they do a take on A Christmas Carol, because the whole premise of the show is around she has a time-space machine. So he himself meets an Ebenezer Scrooge-like person and becomes...
You got to wrap it up, dude.
and he uses time travel to be past, present, and future all himself.
Cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Number 2.
and It's great.
All right, number 2 for me, it's the Lord of the Rings trilogy. They're my favorite movies of all time, and I think I watched them for the first time around Christmas time when I was a kid, and I still continue that tradition to this very day.
Well, they all came out around November, December, so...
Right. Yeah.
My number 2 is The Little Drummer Boy. It's a claymation movie, and I really think it was super cool, but the song itself, the message is, I don't have anything to bring but the gift of just being able to play my drum. And that is always enough. The gift that we have in our head and heart is really what people want. They want us. They don't want our money. Okay, number 1.
All right, my number 1 is It's a Wonderful Life. I think it is the most purely moving message of any movie I've ever seen. Just the value one human life can impact on others.
It absolutely is.
I'm yet to see it, believe it or not.
Oh my gosh. Dude, you are
That's
so
worse
sitting
than her
down and
not seeing
watching
The
shows.
Nightmare Before Christmas, possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got to watch that one.
I will. It's
Okay.
on my list.
And for real, and then I want to hear what you think about
Like
it.
you should see it
Next
at Christmas
week.
time too.
I will. That's
Next
great.
week.
I will, for sure.
Okay.
All right, my number 1, it's The Perks of Being a Wallflower. Again, not a Christmas movie per se, but my favorite scene in the entire movie takes around during Christmas. It takes place during the course of a year, and the message on that small scene was very powerful. Just small gestures that you do with your friends can make or break Christmas, and I always take that very dearly into my heart, and I love the movie. It's great.
And my number 1 is It's a Wonderful Life.
That was our tie. That
Yes.
Was,
So we're on the same page, and I just, again, it's classic, and one person always makes a difference
yep.
for another
And Jimmy
person.
Stewart plays the perfect everyman, and it's just perfect. All right.
Okay. Sponsor number 2.
Sponsor number 2. Create the movement. Creating a movement takes 2 things, the right people and the right message. Finding the right people takes laser focus and extensive research. Crafting the right message requires in-depth market knowledge and constant tweaking. It's not about thinking outside the box. It's about knowing what your box is made of and using it to your advantage. Thank you, CreateTheMovement.com, for sponsoring the Intern Whisperer Live.
And so I want to give a special shout out to Valencia College East Campus for this great studio that we're in, and a special gift of thanks to Q. We always love Q. He's a wonderful station manager. And we're going to do our shout outs. Matt?
I'm going to do it to my grandmothers, who I always see at Christmas, so I'll be seeing them very soon. That's the time when we all come together, both sides of my family, and I see both of them.
Very nice.
So, shouting out to my grandmothers.
All right.
All right. Well, shout out to all my friends and family back in South Florida and in Puerto Rico. Sadly, I won't be able to spend the holidays with them, but they're always in my heart, and I miss them a lot every day. So, and to our viewers, Merry Christmas.
Yes.
And happy holidays.
Yep. And a shout out to all of the Pivot and the Intern Pursuit team. I would never be where I am without you guys. I appreciate everything that you guys do. Shout out to my dad and my brother. They're my only living relatives that I have. So I want to say Merry Christmas to them. And how to contact us, info@internpursuit.tech. You can connect to our website, and you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, listen to us live on mixlr.com/Valencia College Radio, and follow Intern Pursuit. And again, our hashtag for tonight is, I have to go back and look it up just to make sure I'm saying the right thing. It is, because Jacob Banks, I was thinking of a different person, and it was going to come from a movie, The Devil Wears Prada. So I'm not going to do that. Jacob Banks. That's our hashtag. And like and tell us something that you enjoyed about our show, even if it's telling us what your favorite movie is. So thank you to our listeners. We love you.
All right.
All right.